Product reviews all day here, folks, and we've got another shiv. We've got another knife to discuss. This is the Cohesion D2 steel, beautiful brown micarta scales, axis lock, flipper, ball bearing pivot. I paid $15.99 for this knife on Amazon. Where are you going to get an axis lock, beautiful brown canvas micarta handle, D2 steel, ball bearing, flipper? Where else are you going to get that for $15.99? This knife checks all the boxes. It has a decent steel. D2 is not super high grade, but it's middle of the road. You have that beautiful canvas linen brown micarta handle. You have an axis lock. You have a flipper. You have a ball bearing pivot. And I paid $15.99 for this knife. You have a deep carry pocket clip. Now, the action on this is not super great, admittedly, compared to some of the other axis lock knives that I have, because the design on this, it has a very strong detent, and you can't see it because it's underneath the scale, but on the other side of that flipper there's kind of a deep cutout on the blade, so when you close it you can see the way that it hits that kind of that weird cutout on the blade, and then it pops back in, and you can see the axis lock go back into its home position. Now that's actually kind of cool because this knife has a super strong detent. You can see what a super strong detent this knife has, so there's no way that this thing's going to open up in your pocket. It flips butter smooth, but you have to have some technique to get it to close because the axis lock wants to hit that cutout that you can't see. So you have to have see how it's kind of bouncing back out. It's hit. You can see the way the axis lock's moving. So it has a very strong detent, which is nice, but the action is not the greatest on this knife. But if you work it, and if you have some skill and you have some technique, then you can get it to close no problem. You just have to work on it a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful brown. Look at that. Come on, focus, baby. Focus. Look at that micarta. Come on, just focus. Come on, there we go. Had to move it down to the blanket. But look at that micarta. That is an absolutely stunning micarta. So this knife was $15.99. That's what I paid for this knife. $15.99. And honestly, it's one of the most screaming deals I've ever found on Amazon. Beautiful brown micarta, ball bearing pivot, flipper, axis lock, D2 steel, deep carry pocket clip. You can see the way, and like I said, you have to have there's a little technique, because it wants to hit that detent, it wants to hit that, and it doesn't close super nice. But if you work on your skills, then you can get that thing to close no problem. You just have to work on your technique. So that's it. This is the Cohesion. And honestly, I love this knife. For $15.99, where the hell else are you going to tick all the boxes that this thing ticks? Micarta, axis lock, D2 steel, flipper, ball bearing pivot, deep carry pocket clip. And if you work on your skills, you can get this thing to flip and close one-handed no problem. It just takes a little work. And this thing is just absolutely stunning. I mean, I have like $150 knives where they have the the axis lock, the flipper, the Micarta, the deep carry, and this is $15.99 on Amazon. It's $19.99 with a 20% off coupon, which knocks it down to $15.99, and I had this thing delivered to my door for like $17.32, and it is a stunner. Product reviews all day. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Peace.